Hello, screeners. It's me, the one AJ, Anthony Jordan.
And me, Double V. That's the wrong show. It's me too, Nico Luro. How are you doing, film family?
We keep it mixing and blended. It's all good. It's all good. How you doing, bro?
Oh, frustrated as a motherfucker because as you can see by my little handle down there, yes, Daddy Go on YouTube, I had my first proper blunder and it hurt. Bro, it really hurt me. So
Hit me.
on Friday, I think it was, I was meant to be doing part 2 of my Hogwarts Legacy live stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do the live stream, all is good. We're going out to YouTube, and I'm like, weirdly, I'm not getting much interaction. Now, the channel is still very small. I don't want to sound like Mr. Bighead, but I usually get some interaction, like little interaction. And I'm like seeing nothing. I'm like, okay, fine. It is what it is. It's maybe I hit it at the wrong time. Maybe there's a sporting event going on, whatever. Anyway, it was a really good live stream. I finish it, and then basically I stream directly through the PS5, not through a broadcasting software. And I go to edit the YouTube video after, do the metadata and things like that. And I'm looking for my video and I'm like, where the fuck is my live stream? And the motherfucker hasn't recorded. And I'm like, this can't be for real. And I'm looking online. I'm like, does this happen to people? Like, is this a me thing or is this a thing? It's a thing. So with the new update of the PS5, dickhead here didn't realize that there is a massive, oh so massive bug that stops you streaming PS5 directly to YouTube. So that wonderful hour and a half of my life that I gave, don't get me wrong, I had a great time, but it was meant to be also for community enjoyment. Like Kaiser Soze vanished into the stratosphere. That motherfucker. And now I'm in a position where it's like, well, story-wise, there's quite important stuff that's happened here. How am I going to pick that up in the next episode? Hello, it's me, Daddy Goo. I just want you to know this is what happened in the last episode. I'm sorry. Like, it's so shit.
That is so annoying.
Shit. It's so annoying, bro. It's so fucking annoying. Oh, and it's fine. I've got some things coming. But yeah, it is what it is. It's just one of those it is what it is situations. What the fuck can you do, right?
Yeah, I get you. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you had a good day. I'm glad to hear you had a good gaming session all the while. But yeah, I feel your pain, bro.
This is the thing. It's very much a first world problem thing, isn't it? It's
exactly,
my live stream on my PlayStation 5 didn't work. Fuck me, like the world's burning and the racism is afoot. We don't know what gender is what anymore. Up is down, left is right. Who the fuck knows? And I'm here complaining. People can't feed their families, and I'm like, my fucking live stream didn't work. It's like
people don't know the
problems. Fucking first world problems, Nico. Come on, man. You can do better than that. You are better than that. How about you, mate? What's going on with you?
Do you know what? It's been an interesting week. Like, it's been a bit of a blink and you miss it week, which is fine. Just the way it was. Was planning to go cinema. Haven't actually. Looks like tomorrow's going to be the day with the missus. Could be a bit of Mario. Could be Mario. Could be Guardians, because we're both up for Guardians. I want to catch Mario before it leaves, but Guardians is on.
Yes, you do. I can confirm you absolutely do want to do that.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. What else can I say? Phone is still in, like, it's going off for a warranty check. So I'm on a different router. I'm hearing you, but you are freezing every now and again. But we're good. I'm not going to go through the whole thing that we did last week. And the laptop also feels like it. I swear to you, it's like a Tuesday gremlin. Like, I have been perfect. I have edited. I have AJ visioned 2 films for this episode, and I have been fine. I plug in, I sit at my desk, would it be? The computer's turned off on me twice. I'm like, don't do
Internet
this. I don't
says
even know
no.
if you heard me. I don't even know if you heard me, because my computer just goes, the screen just goes blank. And I was like, why do you do this? But that was it. Like, that was, so I'm like, am I good? Am I not? I'm hanging in there. But yeah, we're there. And I've got like a mug from a mate. Look at that. Check that shit out. Check that shit out. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
In the words of four, a friend from work got it for me. I saw it and it was like, that's what we're going to do.
Another.
There we are. Yeah. So,
Oh, dearie me. It's a
yeah.
big day, isn't it, AJ?
It is. It is.
It is a big day. But in typical YouTuber fashion, you're going to have to stick around to the end to find out what the announcement is.
We should do that. After 10,000 likes and 20 more subs, then we'll announce it. Yeah, we're going to go there.
Because just like Dominic Toretto, that's just how we roll.
That's the one. That's the one. But if you guys do know anyone who's not part of the film family, now's the time to bring them in.
Yes.
Announcements are afoot, and the world as you know it for the Silver Screen Dudes is about to take a big change.
Big change.
Yeah.
Big change.
So that's the one. That is the one.
It's a big change. Weirdly, that we're doing such a dramatic reveal on an episode which is, let's be frank, so unfucking dramatic, it's ridiculous. I love this franchise. I will be the first to say, let's everyone, all the film family, let's take our big boy pants off. Let's take our film critic hat off. Let's put on the dum-dum brain and let's just have some fun with this episode, okay? Because listen, this franchise is so fucking self-aware of how stupid it is. Like, people were joking for years, oh, what are they going to do next? They're going to go to space? Yeah. Yeah, they did. Like, and everyone rolled their eyes when that happened. I was like, you've literally been trolling Vin Diesel online for fucking 20 years. Because if you can believe it, the first movie came out in 2001, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You've been trolling this man for 20 years going, your franchise is so stupid, I bet you even go to space. He just looked at you motherfuckers and went, okay.
Like, I am Groot. And so it was done.
I am Groot. We shall go to space. Like, this is the thing. Can we just have some fucking fun? You're not going to be hearing deep narrative. I'm not going to be giving you big, Rand style spiels about these being the most important movies of all time and yada yada. No, but they are fun as a motherfucker. Like, if you can turn the brain off and just literally disengage with reality, because let's also be real about another thing. Physics do not matter in this franchise.
So look, let's be real.
Just no.
Let's be real. I was listening to. If you listen to last week's episode or watch last week's app, everyone knows I stopped at a certain number. So when I said I had to stream 2, let's be real, you can figure out what the last 2 were. There's no secret in what it was. So I'm watching 9. Ooh, spoiler, watching 9. I'm watching 9, and there's this line where Ludacris is saying, forget hope. The maths. We need the maths and the numbers. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Just stop right there. No, you don't.
Oh, it's so very, very funny. It is so very, very funny. It's changed from where it started, but yeah, that's kind of part of the fun. Just while I'm loading up my posters, do you want to sound off who is in the 32 comments already? I guess that notification of, hey, we're doing a big change has worked. Do you want to sound off with the people within the chat? Who's here? Who's here?
Cole Warner is in the house, but I'm going to star that unless Cole, I think that's your order, but we'll leave it for now. Francis says Silver Screen Dude is going to do a Spider-Man ranking episode. I believe we have, but hey, the more that come,
they haven't done 10 movies. There are not 10 Spidey movies.
We done something to do with Spideys, and I think it included the like 1970s one. I think you guys done it when I was under the global.
We did, didn't we? Fuck me, Jesus, yeah, we did.
Francis also goes on to say, guessing announcement something to do with cans. No. RJ, I will star that for now. Ibrahim, how you doing?
What up, Ibrahim? Hello, mate.
Says only watched first 2, and I think I watched Tokyo Drift. Well, that's interesting. We can see what we can do. This is more of a Nico statement here that's coming. After watching Gone in 60 Seconds, which inspired the Fast and Furious franchise, and then after watching the first 2 Fast and Furious films and Tokyo Drift, it all became the same old, same old. So that part...
That's where you went wrong.
yeah. I mean, put it this way. The same way people can say you know, like the time will come when we're gonna rank the Mission Impossible movies. They all get
Coming
a
soon.
little blurry. It's like, did that happen here or there? It's a bit of the same here. I can give you that. I can give you
Do you know what? I agree with that Mission Impossible statement, but I'll also go on to say that what I can categorically say, I have walked out of every Mission Impossible movie having had a good time, so much so that with Dead Reckoning around the corner, I kind of want to go and rewatch them all.
So I just done it like just tail end of last year, so it's not so bad for me. Was it last year or the year before? Anyway, either way, I've just done it, so I may do. I kind of know my way around this, and I just didn't have the time to squeeze in the all 10 Fast and Furious again. But I remember the key points of each film, so I'm there to be like, yeah, I enjoyed this from that one. So yeah, but these films do get into blurry territory, guys. So yeah, that's the way.
Then the text here.
Then the
Hello
text.
there.
Oh, hello there. Hey there, my friend.
Marcus Van Grover is here. Will you do a ranking of the Transformers movies when Rise of the Beasts comes out? Again, not 10. Are there 10 Transformers movies now? So Rise of the
Well, there was
Beasts will
5
be
plus Bumblebee plus this would be 7, no?
7 movies, yeah. It's very easy. It's the animated movie, then Bumblebee, then the first Transformers movie, then number 3, then everything else. Billy Bounce in the house. Yeah, Billy, the live stream didn't happen, bro. It fucked up. Gavin Mann's here. Good evening, all. Looking forward to the Punt Fest, even though I have little knowledge most of the franchise. Also looking forward to Silver Screen Dude's post-credit announcement. Oh, yes, it's a biggie. Andy Hart is here. Long time no speak, Andy. AJ, the Highlander quote, you're under pressure tonight. Evening, gents. It's been a while. It has indeed been a while. Who else have we got? I think that is our family for tonight.
I believe so.
But I believe that's the lot.
Just want to get this one from Mixman Villia. I watched Air and Tetris lately. Tetris is okay, but I really enjoyed Air, especially the angle they went down, making it the Ben Affleck did. Look, it's a really good film. It's a really good film.
A lot of people saying movie of the year so far.
Listen, as I said, it has all the qualities. It just, when I say lacked, as I said, it's the same element of Spotlight, where it's really good, but I just needed a little touch more of something. You know, I really like the way they even like. It's not a spoiler when I say this. Michael Jordan is very well preserved in this film. Spoken about, but very well preserved in terms of appearance. So they do it really well. The pacing was just slightly off to me. That's the only thing. But not a minute of the film did I say, "Oh, this fuck this film," or they could have cut that out. It was really well done. So kudos.
Chris Trangrove is in the house. Did I miss the big announcement? No. Stay tuned to the end, Chris.
There we are.
Coming at the end of this episode. I don't imagine this is going to be an overly long one. I imagine I'm envisaging a puntathon.
Probably
puntathon. Just before we do puntathon, AJ, Nico is going away from keyboard AFK just to go and grab my water. So big screen AJ for 1 moment.
Oh, perfect. So sorry, guys. My freaking internet is all over the place. I've been glitching. If you look at the bottom of the screen, it looks like he's still there for me, but no, big screen AJ is going to do this. So it's there, guys. Do you know what? It's not even one of those episodes where it's going to be like, oh, wait till the end. If you are a Fast and Furious fan, now's the time to just link your top 10. We will read it at the end before the big announcement. We will hopefully punt. Also, do a Rushmore. Also, guys, do Fast and Furious. Get them and rank that up properly. But apart from that, like let's just get it rolling. It's all about family, and you guys have been family till the Silver Screen Dudes. And I'm very honest that there's a couple of names I'm not seeing, but most of the names are not new names, but regular names. And for this announcement, I'm happy that you're all in the house. So that's the big deal. You're back to keyboard. You've got your water. Let's roll.
Let's ride. So it's a ranking episode. This this changes fuck all, to be honest. Here's how the show works. AJ and I each get assigned a topic. We go our separate ways. We come right back here into our live stream and deliver to you, the Film Familia, the Silver Screen Dudes, our individual top 10s. This week, AJ will go first, delivering his bottom 3. I will then deliver my bottom 3. AJ will deliver his next 2. I will deliver my next 2. And then we will change. Then we will trade one apiece. If at any time while we are rounding off our individual top 10s, one person has a movie in a higher position, that person will say
punt.
And we will punt and talk about the movie when we get to the higher position. Once we have both rounded off our individual top 10 lists, we will create the movie Mount Rushmore. These are the 4 quintessential diverse must-see movies of this genre in this very undiverse list, which this week is...
Fast and Furious movies. Followed by a big
Ranked.
announcement.
Followed by a big
Right.
announcement, so do stay tuned until the end.
Indeed. So, yeah, guys, look.
I'm just going to address this one thing before we get into... You know what comment I'm going to bring up. Sip your drink.
I'm actually
take
not
a
looking at
moment.
comments. I'm getting ready to click my picture, so go for it.
Cole Warner's movie and Game Chamber. Do you consider No Time to Die overrated? So we had a video go viral on our channel where I very, very clearly explained my disdain for the shitfest that is this weird fan fiction attempt at a James Bond movie with a pouty little cunt who should never have been given the role and who looks like a chav in a tuxedo. No Time to Die is a cunt-tastic twatathon. Not interested. Not my Bond. Basically, I'm living in a world where we haven't had a James Bond since Pierce Brosnan's last movie. That's kind of the mentality I put myself in. This is like extracurricular for the real fans. If you're bored of Bond and you want something that isn't Bond, and it's trying to be like a dick-sucking Jason Bourne, the Daniel Craig franchise is for you. It is for you. It is like if Jack Bauer and Jason Bourne fucked, and in a world we're living in now where men can be women, clearly had a baby, and that baby was called Daniel Craig's Bond. And here we are. Fuck that franchise, that mini spin-off shit franchise. Fuck it. No.
Right, okay. So let the
Bear
punter
poked,
fun
bear
begin.
calm, bear gone into hibernation. You're number 10.
Yeah, right. Let the punter fun begin, because I know we look at this franchise in 2 very different ways. But in at number 10 for me has to be Tokyo Drift.
No! Punt! No!
Fuck this film. But okay, cool. Right.
No, not fuck this film. I'm going to logic the shit out of you when we get
I don't
to
give a shit about logic. You just opened the fucking show by saying there is no logic to this episode. None of these films have it. I'm not going to give you this thing.
There is a ranking. There is a logic to how you view this franchise, and your logic is flawed, my young Padawan.
It bored me. It never excited me. There we go. That's it. Flawed or not. Right. In at number 9 for me is Fast and Furious 8.
I believe. Let me just check this. That is also my number 9. I did not enjoy this much. Sorry, that's not a punt. That's a please continue. That is also.
Fast 8, if I'm honest, nearly lost me. I appreciate. I'm not going to get into it because
Nate's also in the house. What up, Nate? Hello, bro.
How we doing, Nate? Thank you for joining.
Carry on, AJ.
Yeah. I feel like I need to bring in my number 8. Well, my number 8 will kind of do it. But I just felt like the initial premise of Fast 8 just relied very heavily on a previous film, and they just kind of changed it from, oh, this one's gone rogue to Dom's now gone rogue. And I just remember watching it and just being bored. Like the Fast and Furious, once it changed, wasn't really for me. And if I'm honest, I was kind of like, what is going on? It was too ridiculous. This one just felt flat. I was just like, this is too much. You're trying to defy logic one too many times. Oh, Dom's gone rogue. What should we do? You guys can fuck up Dom. Dom lost in the first fucking movie. Let's be real. Like, there are ways of like breaking it down. Do you know what I mean?
Winning is winning, and second is nowhere, AJ.
Come again?
Winning is winning, and second is nowhere.
Well, this is it. Exactly that. And it just felt like I just didn't enjoy it. It felt like a rehash. You kind of knew exactly what was going to happen. There was a reason behind him being evil Dom. He didn't just randomly turn on family, because he's quoted family for 7 freaking films, and out of nowhere he's just turned on them. Like, get stuffed. It just didn't. It felt predictable because there was no real reason behind anything. Yeah.
So this film is clearly fresher for you. This is. I'll say this: of all the Fast and Furious movies, other than my number 10, which we'll talk about in a moment, The reason this one ranks low for me is because it is so utterly forgettable, which in a franchise which is literally about the big bombastic moments. I mean, I can remember the moment where The Rock is holding onto a car on the ice and he pushes a torpedo, and I'm like, this is too far now. We have found the point where I call bullshit, and it's The Rock pushing a torpedo. But the thing is, even with 9, right, which obviously we're about to talk about, I remember it because they literally went to space and trolled the audience. Jackie G is in the house. Hello, Jackie.
Hey,
Great
Jackie.
to see you, girl. But yeah, look, this one, I didn't even remember the fact that Dom went rogue. All I remember was that you should have stopped at 7. That was my feeling. You should have stopped at 7 because you had a perfect fucking ending. This felt like this is the Toy Story 4 of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Because 9 was just like, fuck it. Fuck it. 9 just went, fuck it. We can't get The Rock. Bring in John Cena and go to space. Fuck it.
The problem you have, so rumor had it that there was meant to be 11 films, right? So it was meant to be one more and done. But apparently at the promo, Vin Diesel made it sound like a trilogy. So we might even get a Fast 12.
No, so what's happening is Fast 10 is going to be 2 parts.
Okay, so that's what it is.
It's Fast X Part 1, Fast X Part 2. Billy Mount says, AJ, also the reason why he went rogue because they held his wife and son hostage and they forced him to join them.
No, but this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. We knew he went rogue for a reason. There was no way he was just going to randomly become this villain. So the whole plot of, oh my God, I can't believe Dom's done this. It was like, can we just get to the point, please? Why? What is the reason Dom's gone rogue? What is it? Just get to it. Then you do find out, and it's like, so what is he going to do to get around? And obviously they will eventually find out. But it was this whole, you guys have done unsurmountable things time and time again. But okay, now he's not. Now he doesn't trust family to tell him what to do. It just didn't work for
me. No, it didn't work. Chris Trangrove, stop prodding the bear. I love you though, bro. And Marcus Van Grover says, thoughts on a movie directed by Michael Bay and starring Daniel Craig and Will Ferrell. Marcus, my thoughts are you pitched that movie so well that I would watch it for you, brother. And I love the fact that you know the dudes that well.
Well played. Well played. Right. I'm guessing we're going to punt one more time because my number 8 is Fast 6.
Oh, fuck. Oh, what is wrong with you? No, punt. This is a very simple franchise, AJ. How are you getting this so fucking wrong?
Just get on with it.
What the fuck? Right, my 10, the actual worst movie is the wank fest known as Hobbs and Shaw.
Well, it's a minor punt, but yes. Yeah,
oh, fuck off. You cannot. You have done. You've put Hobbs and Shaw higher than Fast 6. Boy, we need to talk. No. Just no, AJ. Just
it's
no.
about. Let's go talking, but continue. We've got your number 9.
We got my number 9. Fuck me. My number 8 was Stupid Time. Fast 9.
You know what? That's a punt. That is actually a punt.
It's so dumb, but I love it. It's so dumb, but I love it. All right.
Here we go. Yeah.
Here we go. Punt time. You're number 7.
Fast and Furious. Not the original one, but that's the...
No. Punt. No. You're wrong. You're so fucking wrong on this. It's crazy.
Right. Okay. So here we go. Now with your punt from earlier. Hobbs and Shaw.
How the fuck, AJ, is Hobbs and Shaw higher for you than any of them, frankly? What do you see in this fucking film?
Now, I'm going to be very honest with this, and this might be my only defense. Again, go back to last week. I had written off this franchise. They had gone into levels of stupidity that I did not want to delve into. And I was like, I'm done. Hobbs and Shaw and Fast 9 had not been seen by me until this pod was coming. And then I remember you saying it's absolute shit. And I've gone to watch it and I'm like, it's actually not that bad. Now, Brixton is ridiculous. I will not say that It's more the buddy cop part between Hobbs and Shaw that gave me an element of a story that I could work with, and the angle of who his sister was. I was piecing bits together. It went too far when I have a part human, part Terminator of a villain. I was like, you guys have pushed it there. That part killed me, but the execution behind how they done the rest of the film, I was like, it was enjoyable. I had an enjoyable moment with it. That's how I felt with that.
I'm going to bring Martin Scorsese into the argument here. Allow me to quote you Mark Wahlberg's character from The Departed when they're interviewing DiCaprio. To everything you just said. Are you insane? No, bro. This film, it tried. Listen, I've been saying repeatedly, the Fast and Furious franchise has become something that is utterly ridiculous and self-aware. This movie forgot the second part. It was fine. Like, let's be utterly ridiculous. Let's bring in, quote, Black Superman. Don't ever bring in Idris Elba to anything. Leave him on TV. First point. Jason Statham and The Rock do not have good chemistry on screen together. That's another thing. So much so that Jason said, fuck it to The Rock, and he's now back in the Fast franchise. So this isn't stuff I'm making up.
If spoilers are to be believed, Rock's still in part 10 as well.
I've heard this too, because money, that how much fucking Vin Diesel reverse dump trucks of money onto his lawn. I imagine that everyone has a price. We all know this, right? But let's also be real. The Rock and Vin Diesel have got a very, very well-documented real-life beef. Yes?
I'm aware of this. I've seen it. I've seen Vin plead with The Rock to go for it, and he's like, you're being manipulative. I've seen it all.
I fucking hated this movie from start to finish. I thought the premise was ridiculous. I hated the fact that... So your big criticism is that they've always moved too far away from the cars. My argument's always been that progressively, yes, but the cars have always been like a key point in the movie. Pick any of them. The car going into outer space. The cars jumping from the between the fucking towers in Dubai. The fucking cars going through the Blackwall Tunnel in London. The Tokyo drifting. This has always been in some way. The cars have taken a backseat. Or pun intended. The cars have taken a backseat to the actual over-the-top action that's happened. This thing completely forgot it was Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. This felt like the most generic cookie cutter, bad vanilla ice cream. This is like, oh, this is going to sound so fucking elitist now. This is like the shitty vanilla ice cream that you would get in Asda that doesn't even have a brand. It's like Asda's own vanilla ice cream. This ain't even Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream. This is shit. My opinion, of course.
Of course, I just found it. It's because it went so far away from the cars. Obviously, they still had their moments, and they done the dumb connection part where like 12 cars had to bring down a helicopter and shit. I was like,
oh,
fuck still off trying to bring the cars in as much as you can. But I just felt like it was far enough away from the car part that it didn't bug me. That was the thing. No. Like, I've got more pissed off with some of the other shit they've done in the other films while trying to still include the cars. And that was my thing.
None of the other films had Black Superman. That's why it's the worst.
Well,
it's so bad. It's so bad. Like, in a franchise that's self-referentially bad, this tried to take itself seriously. It's like, nah, fuck you.
I don't think it did.
Oh, buh.
They had the stupid, dumb gags that was like, you're not taking yourself serious enough. But you see it differently. That's fine.
I really do. I really, really, really do. Marcus Van Grover says the girl in Hobbs and Shaw was also a Mission Impossible Fallout. Cool. Billy Mount says, Nico, would you like a remake of Die Hard with John Cena as John McClane? Hell no.
No.
Hell
no. He's not
ever remake
John
Die
McClane
Hard.
Needs to look like your average Joe.
Weirdly, Jason Statham could probably do a good John McClane.
Do I want that though?
Call him John McGuinn.
I
don't want that. Listen, I don't want Die Hard remade. Like, we need to do a top 10 list at one point. Top 10 movies that should never be remade. Right there at the top, this and Die Hard.
I can give you that. Right,
It's
you're number 9. Yeah, we had your number 9, Fast 8. Oh, hold on. Sorry, where are we? That was my number 6. Yeah.
So
Oh,
my number 7, brother.
yeah, that's the one. Sorry, that's right.
This isn't correct. Where is it? Ha! This is fucked. I've got the posters wrong. Right, referring to AJ's posters. Here we go. My number 7. My number 7. The OG, Fast and Furious.
That's a punt.
Behave.
Okay, this is going to be one weird fucking episode, by the way. Rankings have normally been done individually. Like, one of us is sick and someone will rank. This is weird. Punt. Okay.
Oh my god, it really is a puntathon. All right, and my number 6, just say punt because it's too fast, too furious.
Oh shit! What am I doing? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, punt. Okay.
Right, let's trade one apiece. Fastest top 10 ever.
Wow, fastest episode ever. Right, in at number 5.
Furious, brother.
Fast 5.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You're actually killing me, mate. Punt.
Right. Over to you.
What the fuck? Oh, it's Fast 5.
Over to you.
You're killing me here. You're fucking killing me here, man. Oh dear. My number 5, admittedly a guilty pleasure, which is pretty obvious in the scope of this list and this ranking, but my number 5, I will defend this movie forever, is Tokyo Drift.
Go for it. I'm not even going to shit on it. It just bored me. I can't talk for something that hasn't excited me, has been incapable of exciting me every time I've watched it. But proceed.
Okay, so there's a few things in this movie that I unabashedly love. One, I love the fact that they took it away from Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, because this felt like the franchise was dying out, didn't it? This felt like a kind of, those American Pie straight to DVD movies. So already
it did feel like that. It was straight to DVD. Did it hit the cinema?
No, it hit the cinema. It didn't do anything, but it did go straight to cinema. So immediately because of that, my expectation is low. So the bar to impress me is not high, right? I love the fact that they took it away from America. I am an absolute Japanophile. I love all things Tokyo and pop culture and crazy, zany, weird Japanese shit. I love that stuff. I thought it was fascinating also. Speaking of cars, we're going to argue about this. There is not a single movie in the entire franchise, even the one that you so claim is, that is more about the cars than this movie. You've literally got fucking Bow Wow talking about Sparko steering wheels. You've got them referencing cars as part of some sort of street banter. Hey, you want to pay for that Ford? Not until you put that 86 Corolla on the line. It's like, this movie is literally made for petrol heads. And I love the fact that they went completely away from drag racing and sprinting, and they went straight into something that's very, very Far Eastern, which is drifting. It was brilliant seeing that side of the racing culture, which really doesn't get a light shone on it very regularly and is actually a very real thing in terms of street racing. Like the drifting in Tokyo, it's a thing. And just to make it full circle, because we're going very geeky here, bro, the fact that the end race is a canyon race, it's like, so they all looked at Need for Speed and was like, there's literally a Need for Speed entry called Need for Speed Canyon. And they were like, put that in the movie. I was like, okay. So you're appealing to my Japanophileness. You're appealing to my love for video games. You're taking it away from a type of racing that I'm not particularly big on, which is sprint and drag. Cool. Sold. Sold. I don't give a fuck that there's no big leads in it. I loved it. I really loved this movie.
Look, I give it credit for the fact, and it sounds stupid, but I think it actually, one of the things that you mentioned is it brought the world's attention to drifting. Like, people would see cars drift, but didn't have a word for it. They would just be like, look at the way it glides, or what have you. Drifting is now part of people's lexicon thanks to this film. Like, Tokyo Drift, despite the fact that it's not the most popular of the Fast and Furious franchise, has established that. Like, people have picked up that word based on Tokyo Drift and seen the film, what have you. It set itself up in such a weird way because it was like Vin Diesel being Vin Diesel, who was the guy who thought he was too big for everything in that period. Triple X, forget Triple X 2. Too Fast, Too Furious, forget that too. Like, he just felt like he was too big and then realized that Hollywood wasn't calling. And then, yes, he makes a surprise return at the end, which makes it part of the franchise. It means, oh my God, Dominic Toretto's back. And that was kind of...
But did it? Because it didn't, though. Because at that point, when Tokyo Drift was released, they did not have plans to continue the franchise. It wasn't a thing.
I don't know. Yeah, in the
No,
way.
but bro,
yeah.
it's documented. They didn't. That was going to be the end of it. Justin, that was just a little cheeky nod of the hat to show, hey, it's in the same universe. It was Justin Lin who came in the following follow-ups and did all of the writing and said, we could kind of MCU the shit out of this, which is what they did.
Yeah.
Which is literally what they did. But no, that was literally just meant to be a fun little Easter egg, tip of the hat. There was never going to be a follow-up, ever. And then it became something utterly different. And yes, who is it who just said this? Jackie says Tokyo Drift was fun. You're absolutely right, Jackie. Billy Mount spot on. Wasn't the great Sonny Chiba in Tokyo Drift? Bro, fucking Hattori Hanzo is in this movie. Come on now.
I know who he is, but it's just...
Come on now.
It's never done it for me.
It did it for me so well. Like, it glorified the cars to such a level, and it glorified street racing. We're in Asia, and I'm calling it. You get me? I'm calling it lacing, and now we're in Asia. That was a slip of the tongue. That was unnecessary. Fuck me. Street racing. Oh God, I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. No, it glorified street racing better than any of the other movies. Any of them. Like, yes, there is an opening in the one that you love that is very, 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 very Need for Speed Underground. I appreciate that. But for most part, that movie is dog shit. This was just like, let's do racing. The movie is racing. That's all it is.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
Bow Wow and his wanking car. Like, come on now. Big Tone in the zone. Yes, Big Tone.
How we doing, people? How we doing? Thank you, Big Tone, for joining us. All right.
Billy Mount, quick one, says, Nico and AJ, one question about Hobbs and Shaw. You know that Ryan Reynolds and number 30 Roman Reigns was in the Hobbs and Shaw. What did you think of them in that film? I mean, Roman Reigns was foreshadowing,
Listen,
and telling
Roman
us that he was going to go tribal in WWE.
Yeah, as much as he is who he is in the WWE, if you don't know Roman Reigns, that wasn't exactly the best outing. I don't even think he had a word. They just made him look like one of the more dominant ones because he'd done like a couple of... Well, he done a Samoan drop and he'd done the ooh-ah right next to the Rock.
Spear.
Failing that, it's not exactly, yes, let's get this man into Hollywood, is it? Let's be real. And on the flip side, Ryan Reynolds...
He'd be a good Aquaman.
He would be fucking awesome. Demanding that acknowledgement, it would just work perfectly. But especially where Jason's on the road to being Lobo, like, yeah, make him Aquaman. Like, I'd be down for that. Ryan Reynolds, I had a bit of a blur, and I was like, was Ryan in Fast 8? I wasn't sure. Like, yeah, okay, Hobbs, so they just randomly planted the character in there.
But this is the thing. It's just like, we need more star power in this. Get Roman and Ryan. Just like, fuck off, Hobbs and Shaw.
The Ryan Reynolds part, though, if I'm honest, and this is really weird because I don't hate the guy, but you kind of know what you're getting with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds normally plays Ryan Reynolds. Do you know what I mean? So it was just like,
yeah,
okay. So it delivered a sort of light entertainment, but I was more racking my brain of, was he in one of the other films? Is he just in that? And that kind of bugged me. But these elements were like, okay, fair enough. Chuckles, not breakout laughter, just chuckles.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, I'm an unabashed defender of Tokyo Drift, and that's why it's my number 5. Your number 4.
My number 4, well, obviously the one from earlier, but Fast 9. I had a real
that high, holy shit!
I had a very good time with it. Again, 8.
Sure. It's stupid fun.
Okay. So here's the thing. I don't want to talk about 5 before we get to 5. But 5 has redeeming factors that I enjoy, but 5 was also where I started to go, what am I watching? it started to build more and more from there. And I feel that 9 kind of distanced enough, or I had forgiven it enough. But what came out was, this is actually pretty fun. I remember sometimes you can feel like you're struggling through a film. I watch films while traveling. I was anxious. I couldn't wait to actually be back on my journey to finish the film. And that's the fun I had with it. I was like, it's there. I still don't. I will never. The part where they get Helen Mirren to be like, he was built like you and he was your size. Is he your cousin? No, he's my brother. And it was like, fuck off. And then when they're like, who thought the Torettos had a Nordic strain? It's like, you done fucked up, right? Yeah. Write him as Brian's brother, the guy who's out for revenge because you screwed his family to make him hard. You could have done anything, but this whole Nordic strain, I was like, that's not working. But the angle of the story, and I've now accepted that they are, how can I say it? They've redeemed themselves. They're trying to live a quiet life, but hey, we'll do one more mission. I just kind of took it for a lighter side of it. And I actually had more fun than I expected because I had refused to watch the film. And I thought, this is actually quite good. And yeah, they went to space.
Not only did they go to space, but the thing that no one talks about in the movie that is oh so ridiculous, but I was like on the edge of my seat because of how entertained I was. Bro, the magnets.
The magnet, thank you. The magnets were actually mega cool. I even like Natalie Emmanuel's part where she was like, she hasn't learned to drive, and throughout it, there was constant fun. The magnets were cool. There were some parts I was like, should that not have caught this, and should that have not have caught that? But it was
Fast and Furious physics.
Yeah, exactly that. It's Fast and Furious one. It was just elements that it felt like you've got your craziness, but you're also trying to build a story, not just throwing crazy moments for the fuck of it. And again, where neither of us can actually remember Fast 8, this gave me something. This was like, I can follow the story. It sounds stupid in a Fast and Furious world, but I could follow the story. It gave me something. And that's it was a take home for me. I was like, yeah, I like it.
Dude, no argument from me. I question its placement, but it's, everyone was like, this is the worst Fast and Furious. No, it's not. It was. I thought it was a lot better than 8. I thought it was a lot more fun than 8.
8 was bad.
I thought it was way better than Hobbs and Shaw. Like, it was completely self-aware in its stupidity, and it embraced it. They went to space and used magnets. Big magnets. Like, it's fun. Like, what the fuck?
And can I be honest, as much as I don't wave the Tokyo Drift flag, I was happy to finally see the Tokyo Drift boys be included in the franchise properly.
Yeah.
That it actually warmed me because I've always been like, where's the love? They aged terribly, mind you. Those guys, like Tokyo Drift was cursed because even Han, at first, when Han had sorry for anyone who's not seen it, but when Han starts revealing he's alive and he's sniping, I was like, that's not Han. I was like, bro, you've aged. Then the other 3, Bow Wow looks like he ate 2 Bow Wows. That's fine. I'm in no position to talk about size, but he looked like he's packed on the pounds. But I knew what Bow Wow looked like for a minute. The guy who's the main guy from fucking Tokyo Drift, I was like,
Lucas Black. Yeah, he's not aged well.
I was like, bro, the fuck happened to you? Like, yeah, like no disrespect.
Here's what happened to him. Like, he didn't work much after that.
That'd be hard out here. That'd be real hard out here. And then the third guy, I couldn't even remember him because to me, Tokyo Drift could be a bit forgettable. So I was like, I appreciate you're part of the community, but I don't remember you. But I was like, you guys look old. Mm-hmm. How is Vin Diesel looking younger than you guys out here? Like, it's not good. Thank you, Anya. Like, yeah, it just kind of like fell into this position, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
And this is it, Billy. Fast and Furious in space. Like, and Marcus Van Grove are bringing something back here, AJ. Another movie that you and I will defend till the cows come home. I still remember in your Baywatch review when you called it Fast and Furious on the Beach. I don't give a fuck. I like that movie.
I had good fun with that. But listen, there was one thing.
What the fuck were people expecting? It's Baywatch.
Listen, I say this time and time again. I never watched a TV series. I'm aware that it had its audience for many big reasons. However, I did not know much about Zac Efron apart from, I'll be honest, 17 again, and he was Mr. High School Musical. The same way Pattinson is Twilight Boy, he was Mr. High School Musical, right? Between that and Dirty Grandpa,
High School Boy.
He brought the comedy in such a way that I was like, you
need to watch Zac Efron in Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile, and you also he's really good in that. The movie's not great, but he's fucking great in it. And you also need to watch him in Parkland. Like those two movies are examples of why I say the kid should be Wolverine. No, Daniel Craig should be Wolverine. Shut the fuck up.
He's about 2'2" tall, but yeah, we'll go with that one.
Yeah, exactly. AJ's hair is a big announcement. It's Trengo.
Yeah,
Radcliffe, sorry, not Craig.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what threw me off. But yeah,
fuck them both Daniels. Seriously, fuck them both. I love. Cool. Do you know what? Fuck it. We're talking Fast and Furious. So my number 4 then, yeah?
Yep.
Dude, my number 4, I praise it because I actually think it could be the most underrated of the entire franchise, because this, for me, course-corrected the franchise in a way that it became so much better. And that is the pun from earlier, obviously, Fast and Furious, the 4th movie. Because people always forget about this one. They talk about, I believe they talk about the trilogy that is going to be my top 3 because it pieces together so fucking beautifully. But Fast 4 really course corrected the franchise. It was like, hey, here's all the people you know from the first 2 movies. We'll do an opening scene where they're doing some cars, but we're gonna up the ante a bit. We're gonna go do Mexican drug cartel shit. We're gonna go and do a chase in the tunnels.
Sorry to be was it not 5 that brought both characters to get both 1 and 2 together? Oh, fuck off.
5 brought everyone together.
I thought it was 5. No, Tyrese and Luda are not in Fast and Furious.
I didn't say they were. I said it gave you some of the characters. Okay, let me rephrase this. Tyrese and Luda are not in it. Paul Walker's back. Vin Diesel's back. Michelle Rodriguez is back. Jordana Brewster is back.
They brought back the original cast.
The OG crew, yes.
Yeah. Okay, right.
Yeah. And yeah, it brought back the original cast to give you that sense of familiarity, and then was like, but we're going to do it a little differently. Also, here's Gal Gadot. Enjoy. A pre-Wonder Woman Patty Jenkins has worked with her, Gal Gadot. Good Lord, she's not a very good actress, poor girl. She's just not. But it did some fun things, like it gave Brian and Dominic their rematch. Dominic cheated again, just saying. Just the fact they did. It elevated everything from the first few movies, and it really positioned it to be something utterly different. And I applaud it hugely for that.
So I'm going to agree with you in the sense that it was forgettable. I was excited to see the original crew back, but I felt like pieces of the puzzle had been missing because there was more to it. You know, it felt very Dark Fate in a sense that it was like, let's try and forget everything else that happened. And that kind of bugged me because I had seen the universe being built. And that's why I can't remember too much of it, but I was like, you know that, but wait, there's more. That's what I felt with it. I was like, okay, cool, but we're not really acknowledging the rest. And that's why I think it kind of vanishes out for me in terms of being like,
but this further this further demonstrates the point I was making to you, whereby shit was supposed to end after Tokyo Drift. That's why they were like, we're carrying on. Like, let's just move on from that. And then, you know, in a stroke of genius, they managed to still bring Tokyo Drift back later and tie it into the overarching story. And Jackie G's hit it on the head here. Fast 4 was a reboot without saying it was a reboot. That's 100% right. 100% right. It does reboot, says Francis. Very good.
Well played.
Does reboot. Francis Lalonde says Daniel Craig is Daniel Radcliffe in Fast and Furious Road Hogwarts. That's very good. That's very, very good. I like that. Andy Hart says the story goes Tyrese was supposed to be in 4, but it was supposed to be secret. He told everyone he was going to be in it, so Vin had him dropped. That sounds like the most Tyrese thing ever. Hey, I'm gonna be the Green Lantern. Fuck you. Oh, so good. So good. All right, you're number 3. Here we're gonna fucking disagree like hard.
Carry on.
We are going to disagree hard on our top 3. I can feel it.
Oh, easily, because everything else has been there. But I mean, top 3, there's one commonality somewhere, so we both appreciate it. But for me, Fast 7.
Punt.
Okay. Your number 3
was the punt from earlier. Fast 6. So I like this. I like this a lot because number 1, remember I've told you that I've referenced already the fact that I really enjoyed Tokyo Drift, notably for its setting, amongst other things. Bro, I love the fact that they brought this to our capital city. It was so cool to see them do that thing in London.
If I'm not mistaken, this is Evil Letty, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I applaud it more.
Evil Letty, but she's not really evil.
Look, it's Amnesia Letty. But what bugs me is this is when I said they just literally thought, okay, we had Letty turn, now let's make Dom turn. Let's really up the ante, and that's where 8 killed me. I just remember not being a big fan of that story that they were doing. I then realized it was the London one, but I remember that story not being the greatest. So I'm a bit sketchy on it. It may have been higher had I rewatched it.
So my top 3, which you can figure out if you've been listening, I think form the best trilogy within the whole franchise. Like it very much feels like its own condensed trilogy. Argument to be made that 4 should be in there for the reasons I just mentioned, in the way that it reset it. 4 kind of sent Letty on the wrong path anyway, and then they came back to it in 6. So there's an argument to be made that 4 should be included in that. But in terms of overall quality, that 3 I'm going to be talking about now, including this one, for me, the way they're made, the direction from Justin Lin, really just does stand out so much. But Jackie G's hit the nail on the head here. Fast 6 was when it stopped being Fast and Furious and it became that's Andy Hart, sorry. It became Mission Impossible. Jackie G says Fast 6 was Vin Diesel audition for Superman. Literally, man's literally jumping from bricks to bricks and riding tanks. But this mini trilogy within the franchise literally went full stupid, and it made the franchise better for it. And it's the middle part of my top 2, so it kind of has to be in there by proxy also. All right, your number 2.
Right, my number 2 is the OG.
Wow.
Yeah. Fast and Furious. Where like mixed memorabilia can quote Gone in 60 Seconds, I leaned more Fast and Furious. It's just the way I did. I'm not saying it's a better film, but I just did.
For me, it's nothing to do with Gone in 60 Seconds. For me, this is the biggest Point Break ripoff I've ever seen.
Well, I haven't not seen Point Break. I can't really go there. But it built a story that made me say I'm going to pay attention to the rest of them. I remember also around this time thinking, this hype around this guy, he's not a great actor.
No. What did we have around this time? We had Pitch Black, Triple X, and this, right?
Yeah.
Pitch Black easily being the best movie.
And I wish he had just stuck to being the Iron Giant, but that's a different story. But without being a prick. No, I actually just really, the story itself just gave me something, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. You know, the initial race is what it is, but it's like, how do you build a street racer story? You make them thieves, you show what they get onto, and you just created the world that you've created for as far as it went to before it became super spies, you know, super spies in their Hot Wheels. And that was the thing. I actually, from what they done, I really enjoyed it. I just, as a film, I was like, it was one I recall watching a few times. You know, everyone's like, oh, the Ja Rule cameo, fuck off. We weren't worth shit. But like, you know, the whole
really
nitrous
wasn't worth
oxide,
shit.
the whole nitrous oxide intro and all of that. I was like, this wow. And again, I am not a petrol head in the slightest. Like,
No, mate.
to me,
No,
it
mate.
looks nice. If you look nice, cool. That is it.
Brother.
Yeah,
it is all about driving the Lamborghini Aventador at 2 miles an hour, listening to Move Bitch Get Out the Way. It's all about that. And of course, the Lamborghini has to be neon fucking orange. Move, bitch, get out the way. Hey man, how much horsepower does that? I don't give a fuck, bitch. Have you seen it?
The clue. Just let me know
it's
if I'm
an orange Lamborghini, bro.
Yeah, like I wouldn't know for fuck. And for me, it was just something quite interesting. Like, wow, that's some pretty cool shit you could do with cars. And I kind of watched these films, then played Need for Speed, so it was a real eye opener. Like for me, my gaming racing cars was combat cars on the Mega Drive, Mario Kart, and Gran Turismo. So all of this like nitrous fuel, it was like, oh shit, like this was something new and exciting. So that's why I've always got a lot of speed. That came after. It came after. I think my first Need for Speed was Need for Speed 4 or something, 3 or 4. Like, yeah, I was late.
I don't know the numbers. I know them by like their slogans, like Need for Speed Underground and Need for Speed Underground 2. Those were some good fucking games.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't even know.
Good games. And that, again, that's why I love Tokyo Drift, because it was literally fucking cross-pollination, you know? But look, if you take the Fast and Furious as it was originally presented, this, for all intents and purposes, should be your number one then.
I will get into
that. I look forward to it. All right.
No, listen, I appreciate the hate. I know the hate is going to be there, but people like what they like, right?
Defend your position. That's all I ask.
I've got nothing to defend. I enjoy it. Done. I've said it now.
Anyway, what a wonderful conversation terminating cliche. Also, it's a fucking podcast where we disagree with each other.
I will do, but let's just get to the fucking point, and then I'll talk about it when I get to it. Fucking hell.
There you go. There's the fire in your belly. Right, my number 2. Nearly came in number 1. Nearly came in number 1. But it was the punt from just now. It's Fast and Furious 7. This movie is so wonderful for so many reasons. They go to very cool settings. It has one of the most perfect endings ever. The fact that, okay, here's how much of a genius James Wan is as a director, right? And this is why I think he's potentially the most underrated director working today. That man, single-handedly, this is opinion, but also kind of factual. He's made horror super relevant again by giving us franchises.
Which one are you talking? This was Fast
7, directed by James Wan. So he has made horror relevant again by giving us things like Insidious, things like The Conjuring. Horror's cool again. You know, we're not in Scream territory. Horror's become like the fandom around that genre has really been elevated since he made those movies, right? He made DC's first $1 billion movie. So he can work with a big budget as well as do little indie horror shit. You know, Aquaman grossed $1 billion. How crazy is it to say Batman versus Superman did not based on quality, those 2 names in the title. That movie should have made $1 billion and more. You know what I mean? No, it was Aquaman, the guy who, to quote the public domain, talks to fish. The fish talking movie, which had an octopus playing drums, made $1 billion.
And it is a direct rip of Ant-Man having an ant playing drums. Just say.
Legit. legit, but it made $1 billion. Ant-Man did not because James won. And then in this, can we just appreciate the fact that he had to deal with something that must have been not only so fucking traumatic, but the difficulty it would have caused him to lose Paul Walker midway through production? I mean, yes, stroke of genius and stroke of huge luck that his two brothers, when kind of CG meshed together, are like nigh on clones of his. No doubt. But he had to pull that off. And I think Jackie G said it on Twitter, and I'm going to echo that sentiment now. Bro, a Fast and Furious movie made me cry. Like, whether it made you cry or not, I remember when I was in that cinema and the two cars separate and the camera panned up to the clouds and it just went for Paul, people were blubbering in the cinema. So like myself included. It hurt.
I didn't. I kind of feel like the music video is a bit of a downer because it reveals it so much that you kind of know that it's a scene in the film, you know? I think something like that should have really been just held back. Just let it be. Release the video after the film's out of the cinemas. I don't know what to do, but something, just do a video that's just a montage of Paul Walker. Don't show that scene because it really hits home in such a way. Did it touch me? Yes. What I appreciate with this film, and as you said, that gives it this weird way of, in a pre-AI world, you've got Paul Walker just there. CG has created Paul Walker. I always remember Googling, and it's somewhat disturbing and sick to be like, so what parts was not Paul Walker? And they're like, we
sure.
ever tell you.
I'd be interested to know too. I think credit to you for doing that.
Yeah, and they said we'll never say it's the film is there, and just appreciate Paul for who he was. And I respected that when I read it.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I respect it, and for all of that, that's why it's there. Again, in the world where I disconnect. Screw it, we're at the point of nearly number one. I lost certain love for Fast and Furious because it got so ridiculous that the films, I was just like, what am I watching? And I get it. Some people will take it as fun. I was just like, this. How has a street racer become the top operative ever? For the government. Like, it just threw me off. This kind of brought it back. It had madness. It also had a grounded story, and it was that emotional ending that makes you say, no, props to you. And that, respect is where it was. It gave it, going back to what you said, it was the Toy Story 3. It was the Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
For me to put Fast 9 where I did, I'm not calling Fast 9 Lightyear, but it brought me in a world that I was like, I can follow this story more. I will actually give time to Fast 10 now when I actually did not believe I would, based off
You've seen the trailer. It looks fucking great.
I actually refused to watch it because I was like, I don't give a shit about Fast 10. I was that bad. I don't give a shit. And bear in mind, I'm that person who tries to go into the cinema just before the film starts.
Fast 10 looks fantastic in a dumb way, obviously.
Yeah, but it's funny because I heard a part of the trailer. I don't even know what I was doing, and I heard Cena saying, "Dom, what do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Oh, they converted it." That was the small spoiler I had before watching Fast 9. I heard Cena talking to Dom. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, okay, here we go.
Well, he was the good guy at the end of Fast. He was the good guy at the end of Fast 9. He became good
exactly.
at the end of Fast 9.
I hadn't seen Fast 9 when I saw that part of the trailer.
Oh, okay.
So it was a bit like, but yeah, it all worked out. I'm happy. I am actually waiting to see what Fast 10 will deliver. So, but I part of the marketing was this film is for Paul or something. That's how they ended Fast 7.
Yeah.
When they announced Fast 8, it was like, so that was for Paul. This is from Paul. And I was like, stop trying to mark it off of a dead man. That also bugged the hell out of me. And that's where I kind of feel like it's a bit distasteful the more they continue. But I also really like 9. So I am kind of torn.
This should have been the end of the franchise.
It should have.
It was such a perfect ending. And I say again, massive props to James Wan for pulling off what looked like an impossible task. I thought Jason Statham was definitely one of the cooler, more threatening villains that we've had in the franchise. Arguably the coolest, I would actually say. Him going up against, like, him kicking ass against all of them.
He was better than Luke Shaw, who was probably the most dominant. of the villains, or the first real threat of a villain. And let's be honest, Cypher, I'm a bit 50-50 on.
Cypher, I'm 50-50 too, but I do love Charlize. No, it's an interesting one, but yeah. Also, can we just say another reason why it's higher for me? Tony Jaa is in this movie. Come on. Come on. Tony fucking Jaa. All right, AJ. I mean, I know what your number one is. Let's have it and let's argue.
It's been my favorite. This is like Batman Forever territory. Send the hate because I really can't be bothered, guys. Yes, my favorite has always been. Where is it? Where's my number one? I don't know why I keep
to leave.
There we go. Fuck off. Too Fast, Too Furious. I don't care what anyone says. I loved everything about this film. The setting just kind of felt cool. The cars, it felt like they've amped the nitrous oxide. I think it's also very time sensitive. Like the fact that they had Ludacris and Tyrese in there, I was all over them as musicians. I thought they delivered their part.
Ludacris, yes.
I loved the soundtrack. No, yeah, but yeah, I remember I got an R&B side, man. So there was some parts of Tyrese.
Joe Budden, right?
With that, there's also an artist that we don't really mention anymore. He had a song with Tyrese called "Pick Up the Phone." Yeah, banging track. Like everything about it, I just love the vibe. It felt like it mixed that "Pimp My Ride" element to it from what Luda was doing. It just it had all the cool bits of its time. And I also remember this film. This was one of the very, very, very early edition AJ Visions. And there was a scene that I loved in it where Paul Walker and Tyrese are like thumping the guy that they ejected out, but it never made it to UK cinema. And I don't know why. It's like it was too violent for our ratings or something. But I've just always had such a great time with number two. It all just pieced together for me. I understand that to everyone else, it's like, oh my God, the biggest heap of shit. All of it worked. I thought the fact that you had Vin Diesel stepping out. You ask for any opinion and then you say, stop it. Shut the fuck up. Appreciate people's opinions for what it is. Stop it. The fact that Vin
Diesel you're not being fair about the movie. That's why I'm saying stop it. You're actually not being fair because until now,
how is it not fair?
I've agreed.
Yes, we're going to quote the whole your opinion. Right.
No. Let me break it down. Like legitimately.
I'm now breaking it down a bit further. The fact that Vin Diesel had stepped away from a franchise, and it was like, how are we meant to do it when he was like the main man? You've now given this backstory of how Roman is who he is, and this is Roman being Tyrese, not Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Their backstory, who he was, the build up to who he was, the challenge that they've always had, the way they were both after Eva Mendes, all of it just pieced together. We now see that instead of being the good guy doing bad and turned rogue, he's being the good guy doing good shit. He's still going undercover, but you're now rooting for him as opposed to him being the guy like, if only you didn't do that shit. Like it all made more sense to me than number one, and it just amped it with, as I said, all the parts that I'd pieced together previously. And that's why I like it.
So here's the thing. Everything you've just said about what the movie was influenced by, Ludacris, Tyrese, that soundtrack. Okay, the soundtrack not so much because that obviously resonates throughout the whole movie, up to and including the amazing end credit song.
Just to answer your question, before we start, Chris, just to answer your question, Dark Knight is obviously my favorite Batman, but beyond that, Forever is the one I waved the flag for. So continue.
Chris Trengo of Heat and Val Kilmer is his favorite Batman. Let that be known too. I love you, AJ. I really do.
I challenge anyone. Again, I will say it. He has the perfect mix of Bruce Wayne and Batman. I don't appreciate Chris. What's his face? I'm blanking right now. Christian Bale's. Fuck that shit. I felt he gave me the perfect mix of Batman that I wanted. Take it how you wish.
Fair enough. So look, the way you kind of started describing Too Fast, Too Furious, I actually agree with, because that is essentially late 90s, early noughties.
Yeah.
It's our kind of teenage school culture, Oh man, did you see the new Pimp My Ride? Yo, yeah, sure. Ludacris was a big thing, Still one of my favorite hip hop artists ever, Ludacris. Love him. But here's the thing. Everything you just described was correct until you said the whole movie.
Because I'll be real, that first 30 minutes of Too Fast, Too Furious is fucking great. And it's because of all the reasons you just mentioned. That opening race where Brian shows up in his Skyline, ludicrous with this big fucked up throw, goes fire 'em up, where they do that bridge jump with Devon Aoki in her pink little Corvette. Like, it's cool as shit. Then they do that crazy race on the freeway with Tyrese, and they've got those cars and they're driving backwards through the trucks, and it's to go and get big bad boss man's Ferrari just so he can pop a cigar. Up until the cigar clip, the movie's fire. I'll give you that. I have no beef with the opening 30 minutes of Too Fast, Too Furious. The moment that cigar goes clip, I'd actually no. Real talk. I would, because I watched that movie a lot growing up because I thought I liked it. I would challenge. This is a fun challenge for anyone, but I'm going to challenge you here, AJ. You and me can get together and we're going to start the movie at the point where the cigar goes clip. And then you tell me if the rest of that movie, fuck good or bad. We're talking about a Fast and Furious franchise. It's all bad. It's just varying degrees of bad. I'm not, let's be real here. We are talking about a franchise which has built billion-dollar box office revenue off of noticeably being bad. So there's no beef about, this movie's bad. No shit. Like, my number one is a bad movie. I just really like it, right? It's the fun factor. Because that first 30 minutes, I reiterate, is fucking fire. That opening race feels like something out of Need for Speed. The way they're perving on the cars feels like something out of Pimp My Ride. It's the same vibes I get off Tokyo Drift. It's like, yes, tick, 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 tick. This is ticking all the right boxes for me. The moment they get past that first 30 minutes, the movie actually gets boring. And I think you're going, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think you're going off of muscle memory here, because that how good that and fun that first 30 minutes is. I defy you now.
The funny thing is,
go back and watch it.
You mentioned, I did feel was later than the first half hour. I will give you that. I also remember though, and I'm not gonna. Here's the thing. With all of that said, I remember preferring it to 1. Yeah. I also remember 2 over 1, 2 over 3. By the time 4 came in, this is a personal thing, right? This is how it works out for me and where it is. And then by the time you start to reboot the franchise, as I said, because I had so much love for 2, 4 had something missing. Then 5, it starts to go all kinds of batshit crazy, where I was like, me and Fast and Furious can't connect. So by that proxy, 2 can only be my number 1. Do you get what I'm saying? Where you have more love for 3, I have for 2.
I get it. But now, see, I'm going to bring up a comment that Big Tones just put here. The ejector seat saved the film and the 50 car bit too. All of that's literally last 20 minutes. So I'll even give you that. Watch the movie from the cigar clip up to the point just before the garage doors open and the 50 cars come out. There's a big chunk of movie there. Like, this isn't some short 20 minutes and we're at the good stuff. No. There is a chunk of movie here that in a franchise that is meant to be bombastic fun, even going back to the first movie, bro, it drags. Fuck me, it drags. But for all the fun parts, which is the first 30 minutes and arguably the last 15, 20, although I'm not so hot on that, it's that first 30. Oh, yeah. After that, dead. And I would really like you to go back and rewatch it.
I'm more than happy to go back and check them out. I don't know when I will, but yeah.
Den the Tech, you're missing my point. You can't start a movie in the middle and judge it. I'm not asking you to judge it. You completely missed my point then. You're either trolling me or you've missed my point. For the giving you the benefit of the doubt, we'll go with AJ bookended the movie.
Part, because I agree. I'm a person who will never watch a film halfway. But I can see that you're saying the second act, which is meant to be the exciting part, is a downer.
It's dead.
I'm more than willing to check out. I'm more than willing to challenge it and be like,
yeah.
But I just remember a fun ride.
The first 30 minutes is fun as fuck. It's fun as fuck. But that first 30 minutes, okay, this is looking at it through a 2023 lens, obviously. That first 30 minutes could literally exist as like a really high production YouTube video with a load of street racers. That's how fun it was. It was super fun. The moment they bring in that wank stain of a villain, this villain is literally like something Uwe Boll would write. Like, he's so unthreatening. It's like, hey, don't ever touch me, man. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up, you B-Tech Tony Montana. Like, nah.
Tucky with the save because you hated him and he came in just in time. Too Fast, Too Furious is the ultimate guilty pleasure, and I prefer the smaller scale story, which I do as well. Carter Vernon is a great villain, and the two leads have great chemistry. I thought they did.
Awful
villain or awful chemistry? Because I actually really like the chemistry between them.
Awful villain.
Okay.
Awful villain. Right. Nah. Yes. Chris Trengover, I agree with this. It's unpopular to say, but I agree with him. Omitting Vin Diesel.
Here's the thing. I actually thought if they wanted
awful.
I actually feel if they needed to, they could have continued without him.
Without Paul Walker or without Vin?
Without Vin, they could have.
Vin's box office, mate. You can't do that.
It's how obviously it's you can't reverse the clock. I think Fast and Furious could have continued without Vin Diesel. Bold statement, but I think he could have.
I don't see how. I think listen, I was about to say I think Fast and Furious could have continued without Paul Walker, and shock horror, it has, and it's not as good for it. So that's a dumb statement in itself. But Chris is right here. Despite Paul Walker is inherently fucking likable, which is why his passing was so devastatingly sad. I don't know anyone who's like, I hate Paul Walker. He's got a natural likable kind of like puppy Labrador energy about him. You know what I mean? He's not a good actor.
He wasn't. But neither is Vin, for fuck's sake. Let's be real. We're talking about
Vin has a presence about him that Paul does not. Vin has got a presence. He's got something about him.
Chris, I know you're saying without Diesel, that's crazy talk, but something. Just the way I envision it, I think they could have built. I'm not sure how and who and what. But I reckon Fast and Furious could have been something without Vin. Obviously, the way now, it's intrinsic with him. Family has become the big joke, and it has to be done by Vin Diesel. So now, if you take 2 and you move on from 4 upwards, we're talking 6 movies deep. It's obviously very hard to see a franchise without the man. It would be dumb as fuck. However, if we had gone from Fast and Furious 2 and moved on, I can't guarantee that the world would have been like, oh, we still. You would have wondered where he was because Dominic Toretto was a key element to the film. But Brian is still the star. Brian is still the star of Fast and Furious.
Over Dominic?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You're telling me Brian. You're telling me Brian. He's the main character.
Brian.
You can't.
Brian, from even in 4. Brian is more of a lead. He becomes a co-lead, but Brian is still that. Yeah? I'm sorry.
No.
You could have done it. It could have been done.
You die on that island, AJ. Good for you, brother.
Okay.
Look, my number one, and obviously opinions are opinions, but in my opinion, this is the best put together movie and also the most fun, and that's Fast and Furious 5. Now, I don't prescribe to the noise of The Rock saved the franchise. No, he didn't. The Rock added some fun to the franchise, though. So, all the things I've talked about.
The Rock is why Fast and Furious 5 is lower for me. It was seeing
I understand that.
Fast 1 and Fast 2 being merged together and bringing everyone, plus a hint of 3, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I thought was the key. That was the goal in Fast 5. Him breaking a cast. Fuck off. I was pissed off as hell.
Listen, I do actually really like The Rock as Hobbs in this movie. I love the setting. Really, really like the setting of Brazil, the way they're messing around with the favelas and down on the beaches. I thought that was cool. I love the way that they just decided to go full Avengers on it and let's bring in everyone to this movie.
And it's fun. Like, and I love the fact that, we mentioned Ludacris before. I love the fact that Ludacris gets given such a bigger role in this movie because he's all sorts of fun. Now, did he tap that ass or did he grab that ass? He's got some bangerang lines. It's got, fuck it, I'll go out on a limb and say this. I think it's got one of the best chase scenes ever. That scene pulling the safe along the road. I mean, it's not Matrix Reloaded freeway scene good, but it's fucking mental. Like, it is mental what they did in this. And, bro, start to finish, I find it very hard to flaw this movie. I think it's well paced. I like the fact that they injected some emotional touches into it, like bringing back What's His Chops from the first movie, who's now got a son called Nico. I like that, obviously. I love the setting. I love the characters. I love the MCU factor. I love the chase at the end. I actually really like the villain. This movie worked for me. Top to fucking bottom, this film worked.
So everyone coming back together and them doing what they have to do, I worked with. The safe, fun though it is, it also has me at this film is the first time in the Fast and Furious franchise I went, oh, fuck off. And the more I kept saying it, the more it started to bug me. And, who said it somewhere? Tucky says it here. From 4 upwards, they all fairly interchangeable. Big bad villain who becomes an ally in the end. And it's kind of that. It's like, don't get me wrong, 5, I enjoyed. And I understand that you finish at 7 because the way it was. You couldn't finish at 5. There was more of a story to be told. I appreciate that. But it just started to get a bit stupid because it's, Hobbs. And now you got a cop who's after the villains, but you're written the villains, which is fine. The Italian job's done it. Again, I saw your point there, Andy, that it's an unused sequel to the Italian job. That's how the whole Fast and Furious started off. But it just started to be like, okay, so now they become good, so the good guys got to join the good guys next. And it does become that. And it's fun, but it just got a bit too stupid for my liking. And that's why I like where we're at now with it, that it's not... We were still in a world where it was about the cars, but it didn't make sense at the same time, which just threw me off. I was like, you're really making me suspend belief way more than I should be right here. And it pissed me off. But I like the fact that all crews were brought together. It made sense that they needed everybody in. And again, that assemble style that you talk about, I loved. Yeah, it was it's a love-hate relationship, number 5 for me.
I get that. Tucky said something really good here, which I think you and me will agree with completely, AJ. I love The Rock, but he's never done a truly memorable movie. Completely fucking agree. Completely agree. I may possibly consider raising Gridiron Gang as one of his underappreciated movies with Exhibit. It's actually quite a good biopic, sports biopic. It's a fun film. But I mean, the fact that people are saying he's the next coming of Arnold Schwarzenegger, is he fuck? Like,
he is when you look built,
nah,
but he's not Arnie by any stretch. He's not doing films to the level that Arnie was.
True Lies, Predator, Running Man, Total Recall, The Terminator. Like, The Rock hasn't done one movie in that vein.
There isn't that.
Rock's thing, you Arnold, piss off. What? Because he bodybuilds and he does action movies. That's about as similar as they get. And I don't agree, Andy, when Andy asks about Jumanji. I thought Jumanji was shite. That's just, again, my personal opinion.
I need to see the second one. It depends how you view Jumanji. And it's weird to say that, but it depends how you
As it was presented by Robin Williams.
No, I'm talking the second film. How you view that? If you're looking for it to be like a remake or something, you're going to have a shit time with it. I understood that board is a much wider world, so someone has a different experience than you did in the first one. Hence the part where you get to a certain area of Jumanji, which is what Robin Williams experienced, which would scare the shit out of you, and you wouldn't go beyond that in the world, And it evolved. It became a computer game, and you got non-PC, non-playable characters, X, Y, Z. It's not a great movie. Jumanji 1 is the Jumanji movie. I'm not going to dispute that. But it's not as bad as people have gone for. If I was to say my favorite film with The Rock, it sounds really bad, but I think it's The Rundown. / Welcome to the Jungle. I had fun with that.
I'd probably agree with that. It's
Yeah.
The Rundown or Gridiron Gang. It's one of those two. I'd agree with
Gridiron.
that.
I've not seen. I've not seen Gridiron, so I can't really. But yeah, the rest of them have been.
Probably him and Sean William Scott had fantastic chemistry. I actually liked that movie.
Yeah.
Right. That's the 10. We have ranked.
Interesting.
And I don't think we've ever disagreed more on anything in our top 10s.
No. Interesting point by Jackie here. The Rock is an 80s star in the 21st century. Yeah.
He would have been busier. He would be the backup dancer to Sly and Arnie, though, in the 80s.
He would have been. He may have outdone Bruce. He definitely would have outdone Dolph.
Definitely would have outdone Dolph. He wouldn't have outdone Bruce because he never would have gotten a movie as good as Die Hard or Die Hard with a Vengeance, you know? Maybe had more movies, but he never would have done a classic like Die Hard. Okay, this is all speculation. It's impossible to say, but
yeah.
Andy Hart, Fast 5 is my favorite movie with The Rock. I would listen to that argument.
He wound me up so badly in that film. It was just we're playing on the fact that he's a muscle man. It just anyway, yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Let's Rushmore this bad boy, and then I
shall
guess
we
we've
get
got
everyone's opinion first, or shall we just go for it based on either?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can get everyone's opinions. You've been starring them. Bring them up. And if you haven't dropped your ranking of the Fast and Furious movies, guys, now is the time.
So Cole Warner's Movie and Games Chamber says my ranking is 5, 6, 1, 2, 7, 8. Hobbs and Shaw 4, 3, and 9. The only ones I like are 1, 2, and 5. 1, 2, 5, and 6. Yeah, interesting. RJ Skarenki says my ranking Fast 6, Fast 7, Fast 8, Fast 5, then the rest. Interesting. Ibrahim says mine is Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast 1, Fast 4, Fast 5.
Love the Tokyo Drift there, Ibrahim. Respect.
My list in order from 10 to 1 is Hobbs and Shaw, Fast 8, Fast 9, Fast 3, Tokyo Drift, Fast 1, Fast 2, Fast 4, Fast 7, Fast 6, Fast 5. So Fast 5 is getting a lot of love. And okay, yeah, Chris, I'm sure that was for me. People like what they like, and people are wrong. Yeah, fair enough. I listen.
I started that one for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
I knew I'd get you with that.
That's fine. Listen, I can take it. As I said, my pleasure will be my pleasure, and I'm not going to take it away.
Too fucking right, mate. Nor should they be. Big Tone says 10, The Fast and the Furious, 9, The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, 8, Fast and Furious, 7, Fast and Furious 6, then Hobbs and Shaw above 6, behave. 5, Fast 9, 4, The Fast and Furious, 3, Furious 7, 2, Too Fast, Too Furious, 1, Fast 5. Good. Tucky says, I'll go Rushmore, The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, and 5. Chris Trengove says, I've only seen 4, but 2 of them are so bad, so my Fast and Furious Rushmore is Nico's top 4. Yes, Chris.
I mean, that's a cop out if I've ever heard it, but fair enough.
Andy Hart's done something very similar to me. 5, 7, 6, 1.
And Mixed Memorabilia's only seen 3 out of 10, so that's fine. Well, let's be honest.
Mixed Memorabilia, to answer your question earlier, as long as you can take the big boy pants off and not look at this movie with any type of critical or analytical thinking and just appreciate them for the brain dead stupidity that they are, absolutely, I recommend you go and watch this franchise. It's a barrel of fun. And Jackie G has said, yes.
My ranking is in this exact order: 1, 7, 4, 3, 6, 8, 2, 9. Nice.
1, 7, 4, 5, 3, 6, 8, 2, 9.
Did I say that wrong? My bad.
You said 1, 4, 7, 3. Yeah, I love the way people aren't even acknowledging Hobbs and Shaw. Love to you guys.
And Gavin says, only seen Tokyo Drift, so that is my favorite. Fair enough.
Fuck yes, Gavin. Love that. Right, how do we do this, AJ?
Well, 5 and 7 are going to get love, so let's be real.
5 and 7.
Get Smart. Get Smart. Oh, that's a
Rock
Rock
and Steve
movie.
Carell did not
Yeah.
like that film.
Oh, Get Smart. What was the other one? Be Cool. Yeah. So I was thinking of Get Shorty.
That was such a shit film. That was such a step down from Get Shorty. It was crazy.
Sorry, when I've heard Get Smart, that's what I was thinking it was. Okay. I actually quite like 9, you know.
Go for it. I don't mind. You're not going to hear me have a complaint with 9. I like that film. Put the first one on.
I mean, it seems right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The one that started it all.
Yeah. Put the OG on, see how people respond.
But I don't want to see a Coach Carter at the same time. Let's go with the first. It's safer for my ego.
Got to put. Yeah, cool. Let's do it then.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official movie Mount Rushmore of Fast and Furious movies in no particular order is
Fast 5.
Our second entry is
The Fast and the Furious, Fast 1.
Our third entry is
Fast 9.
Our final entry into the movie Mount Rushmore of Fast and Furious movies is
The Bittersweet Ending, Fast 7.
Furious 7.
Furious 7. How was that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's how interchangeable.
I love what Andy said here, actually. Forget big boy pants. If you can't appreciate B movies or genre movies, you don't get and will never appreciate cinema. I love the fact that you've said something so absolutist. It's right up my street. Yes, Andy.
Right. Okay.
Jackie G says this is the fastest show you guys have done, which kind of leads quite nicely into our announcement, doesn't it?
So we talk about bittersweet endings, guys. Yeah.
This is it.
This is a bittersweet ending. This is
the end.
Is the Silver Screen Dudes. Silver Screen Dudes, the channel. I actually gave you guys a bit of a teaser last week when I said this will be a time capsule. Yeah. This is it. This was the last episode you guys will ever see on this channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's sad, isn't it?
We're coming to an end, guys. It's been a journey. It's been a journey, and we have to salute and call it quits.
We have to call it quits.
Wow. I love this. So Jackie is like, announcement. Ibrahim has just hit us with a what the fuck? Yeah.
So
yeah.
I love the way that we've got that sort of reaction, though. It's a very, very nice way to go out.
Tucky, well played.
Tucky, you know when you're dealing with wrestling fans. Yeah. So there's a swerve here. Okay. So after the No Time to Die review came out, it was Den the Tech who said you guys should consider going live. And we tested the waters, and Big Tone joined us, and we did a ranking all the James Bond movies. And that was because we got the timing right on that. There was fury in the air about No Time to Die, and we got a lot of traction on that, and it helped the channel grow
a bit.
Andy, hang about. And it helped the channel grow, sort of. So it's a moment of honesty time here. I've managed a number of YouTube channels to varying degrees of success. My scuba diving channel, Real Freedom Productions, has had 2 videos get over 1 million views. I don't really upload there anything anymore because I'm not diving as regularly as I used to. But it was getting hundreds of thousands of views. Not many subscribers, but hundreds of thousands of views, which was nice. Global Underwater Explorers, which is a channel that I manage full-time. I've grown from 600 subscribers to nearly 16,000 in just 2 years, which by modern-day YouTube standards, for something which is very niche like technical diving, it works. Now, something came to my mind. We have been very regular with our content. You guys all know Tuesday night, 9 p.m. This is what happens. We've got the Movie Mount Rushmore podcast that comes on, right? We've toyed around with things like trailer reactions and movie reviews, and it sometimes worked, sometimes it hasn't. And what's been bugging me is I opened, as you can see down here, I opened my own personal little gaming channel, Dadigo. It's got some nice thumbnails on it, but it's long form gaming content, which there's 1,000,001 people doing it, and by putting zero effort into it, and I mean zero, like I literally put on fucking PS5 and I game. If you watch, you watch. Billy Mount joins me sometimes, which is lovely. That channel's on nearly 200 subscribers after literally less than 3 months. And I'm looking at our numbers, and we've been stuck on 3,800 for the longest fucking time, despite uploading content regularly. Well, at least on a schedule basis. Once a week. It's on a schedule basis, right? There's been zero growth. So I reached out to a friend of mine who's very, very tight with YouTube, and he did a full audit for our channel, and he said, this doesn't make sense. What's gone on with your channel? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you're uploading regularly. Your thumbnails are on point. You're doing the SEO that you need to do. The hashtags are there. The backlinking is there. Everything that YouTube needs you to do to grow, you are doing. Why are you not growing? And I sort of said to him, I was like, well, that's kind of why I'm talking to you, buddy. And he asked me quite a hard-hitting question. Have you ever paid for views? And so here's a moment of honesty. Back in 2015, when we were just starting this up, and AJ, to his credit, was like, don't do it, grow it organically. Dickhead here got overzealous and said, it's fine, we'll pay for some views. Not the legitimate way through Google advertising. I made a mistake. And despite doing that mistake, we've still had, nearly 4,000 people. We've got a regular group of film family that join us, which I absolutely love. We've had treacle over from podcast to YouTube, Twitter to YouTube, etc. There's been somewhat of a growth that's trickled on from other platforms, and yet the channel has been stuck now for months on 3,800. Shit, I looked at the analytics today. We've lost 33 subscribers in the last 2 weeks. How? So what my friend has suggested to me, and you guys have a big part to play in this. What's the thing I always joke with AJ about? The. And it's something that in the most charming way has kind of become something that is part of the channel, isn't it? The penis got me. That's your opinion. Oh, AJ said the thing. He said the thing. Da. So what we're actually doing, guys, AJ's right. This is the end of Silver Screen Dudes. It's not the end of AJ and Nico.
No.
So we're taking a 2-week hiatus now. And as of, let me get my calendar up just to make sure we've got this right, AJ. Where is our release calendar? As of the 6th of June, we are back and we will be streaming Reboot for the Win. Big Turn called it. We are going to be opening a brand new channel. So Chris, Jackie, Andy,
everybody,
we're not going anywhere. Everybody here. Ibrahim, no sad faces. Jackie, it's not so sad. We are not going anywhere. The Rushmore is staying. We are relaunching a channel, and it's going to be called The Silver Screen Dudes.
Thanks to you guys. That is thanks to you guys.
The channel is created now. It exists. It is up now. Let me see if I can actually just bring it in.
Careful, because you talked about the linking. Are you sure you want to?
No, I'm not going to link it. I'm literally just going to screen share. I'm literally just going to screen share onto the live stream. So we have got a new channel. It is set up. It is ready to go. And it is right here. Can you see it? Is it there? Guys. There you go. The Silver Screen Dudes. We are.
And look at what it is on the top. Give it a
It's
hit there.
all changed. The new banner, we are called the Silver Screen Dudes, and it's going to slightly change. Now, where AJ...
Kevin, get fucked. Sorry. I will forget the. No, I won't.
We are not going anywhere. But here's where things have to change for the time being, okay? Because we are effectively a channel with 0 subscribers at the moment. There are 13 of you watching. I would really like to think that the moment we end the stream, we will have 13 new subscribers on the new channel. Just search the Silver Screen Dudes. That would be really appreciated.
We can't post it because we can't create a link because it could then damage the new channel. This is as real as it
Correct. We can't link yet because this channel is essentially corrupted to fuck, right? YouTube are probably listening going, really? It's a soft reboot, but this reboot comes with some conditions. Let me just bring this up again for you guys. It's all in the banner at the top. It says new video every day. So let me explain to you how this is going to break down. The thing that's going to affect you guys the most... live shows, for the time being, we have to stop them. We have to stop the live shows for the time being for a number of reasons. One, we actually can't live stream with that few people. It will literally just damage us. With that few subscribers, YouTube will be like, well, you're literally live streaming to no one. What's the point? But what we are going to do, you guys are going to get more content out of this. The Rushmore itself is not going anywhere. We're going to be doing the Rushmore. It's going to be weekly. The moment we get to 1,000 subscribers, the live Rushmore will return. Okay? So we need your help to get there, right? As well as the Rushmore staying put. So if you're listening on podcast, things continue as normal. Nothing will change other than you'll notice the episodes being substantially shorter. Because the other thing that YouTube is now launching podcasts, and the desired podcasting time for YouTube is 45 minutes to an hour. So you are going to see these episodes get shorter. We'll try to do our best to keep the banter, but at the beginning, you're not going to hear our usual 15 minutes of, hey, how you been? It's like, no, straight in movie content talk. Okay. That's going to be weekly. We're going to be bringing you another, and that's going to be our evergreen content. We're going to be bringing you another show, which we're reviving from early days Silver Screeners.
Yeah.
It's happy days. I'm bringing back the old feature, and it's going to be called Silver Screen News. That news.
And for some of you, you will be familiar with that we had a short stint on radio doing that. Good old K2K for a bit.
K2K radio. We were on the radio exactly for a while doing that. Yeah.
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 So and we always said we were going to bring it back. We just didn't make the time for it. And this is the only way we can make the time to bring both back. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, and stay here for a while because I am going to actually put the link in the comments, which we won't get slapped for. I just can't put it in the video description. So just hang about for a moment. So as well as Silver Screen News, the news sections are going to then be divided up into bits which are going to come out every day. If AJ says something particularly poignant or I say something particularly poignant, that will come out as a short. We are going to do out of theater reactions. We are going to start doing trailer reactions because these are the things that are popular. We don't want to alienate our core group of film family here. We're still going to be giving you the Rushmore, but we have got to start expanding into doing content that is more mass market populous, right? So trailer reactions are going to be a thing. Jackie G, you've hit the nail on the head. Movie reviews are going to start being a thing. Throwback Thursdays are going to make a return. Effectively, every single day of the week, there's going to be a new piece of content for you. And Silver Screen News, the entire show, which will be about an hour long, will also be a brand new podcast. So you're going to get effectively 2 podcasts out of us and 7 videos a week coming out. Okay? And that channel, guys, you can find right... come on. Here. There's the link to the new channel. Yeah. I'm hoping that we're going to have quite an influx of subscribers by the end of this. But yeah, let me just refer to my show notes here. We've mentioned that the channel is ready. The factor. We've covered that. Why we're doing this. My fuck up. We've covered that. all the new content. We've covered that. 2 podcasts. We've covered that. And mention that we will bring back lives once we hit 1K. We've covered that.
So everything else remains the same. All socials, all. Am I correct in saying is it still like Movie Mount Rushmore for Silver Screen News, or will it be a separate?
Still Movie Mount Rushmore on Twitter. So Movie
No,
MT
no, no,
Rushmore.
No. Spotify. The pod. You said there's a separate pod. Is that a separate?
So the second pod will sit exactly under the same feed. You'll essentially just get 2 podcasts coming out a week. The usual Movie Mount Rushmore, which will be numbered season 6, episode 15, and then you'll get just another podcast that comes up. It won't be called Silver Screen News or anything. It'll most likely be the title of the most trending news story. Daniel Radcliffe cast as Wolverine. The world erupts. That will be like, Silver Screen News episode 1 or whatever. But yeah, we are bringing you loads of content. It's going to be video, it's going to be podcast. We're going to be posting funny memes on our Instagram page. The direct instant out of theater reactions will be on our Instagram page. The vertical think pieces that AJ and I are going to be doing during Silver Screen News, they're going to go up on our TikTok account. We are essentially looking at the work that we've done for the last 7 years, realizing that we've learned a lot from it, and we want to start applying that with a fresh start. So it's a hard reboot, and we want you all to come along for the ride. And yes, Buy Me a Coffee is coming along with us.
yeah. All of those stuff still work. It's just literally it's just, we just need a new channel, guys, because, and to be honest, we also like to know where we're really at. So like, yes, it's nice to see 3.8K, but and we're not ashamed to say it because we are grateful for each and every one of you. But
hugely.
Yeah. 3.8.
I said hugely.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But 3.8K followed by like 15 views. You're like, well, which one is it? where
Doesn't add
all
up.
the other? So it's like, let's just grow as organically as possible. If we are a channel of 20, let it be. That's the film family. And that's why we ended with family as an episode. But no, like, joking aside, it is just to be as natural as we can. And with all the new content we're doing, it's no point doing it on a tainted channel. And if we are going to do this, we're going to hit the ground running, and that's just the way we're looking at it.
We want to hit the ground running. What's Jackie G saying here? And don't forget to tag everything. Those hashtags are the ones that bring the followers. It's going to work out, guys. It will be amazing. Jackie, mwah, thank you. The AJ, the Nico hashtags. You should get those t-shirts of those, Free Penis Got Me t-shirts. That's a nice idea. Dem the Tech, I now see 12 subscribers on the channel, which I see 13 people watching live. So we're 1 short. I joke, of course. But Francis Lalonde, notifications, turn those on, please. Because, as I said, the videos will come out daily. 2 long-form videos, Silver Screen News, Movie Mount Rushmore, which will continue to be both podcast and video, and then all the little subcategory videos. I can give you an insight into the playlists of what the playlists are going to be featuring. So the playlists are going to be the Movie Mount Rushmore podcast. The playlists are going to be Silver Screen News, trending movie news stories, trailer reactions, shorts, throwback Thursdays, and then our popular videos section, which is just going to be populated by the videos that get the most views. So we are starting from 0. We're winding the clocks back to 2015. Oh my God, AJ, can you believe it? The Force Awakens is about to come out and break box office records.
4 posters. Where are the 4 posters? Where's my Pulp Fiction poster? But like, joking aside,
we actually should get some posters up.
Yeah, that's another challenge. Anyway, but yeah, it's we're turning the clock back, guys. It's a new journey. It's new content, and we've always joked about how there's more from us to be heard. Now you will hear it. You'll actually get a chance, instead of it being like, oh, we can't touch on that subject because there's no time, we need to get on with the pod. It's here for you guys. Like, it's there. Okay, initially the interaction won't be there, but you'll hear our thoughts on it because we'll be talking the news as it happens. So that's the way we're going, and yeah, it's an interesting but fun journey, guys. Honestly,
it is.
Honestly, the fact that you guys all signed up, we truly appreciate that already.
Oh, it's magic. It's genuinely magic. And the show will evolve. I'm sure it will evolve. We'll maybe start. You'll see a different setup for Silver Screen News. You'll get notifications on Twitter that there's a new video that's come out. we're on it, guys. We're even using AI for fuck's sake. You know, it's all gonna it's all coming together, and it's exciting. And we're happy to have you guys along for the ride. And we're gonna see where this journey takes us now. We've learned a lot in the last 8 years. Fuck me, we've been doing this 8 years, AJ. We've learned a lot in that time, and we want to see just how much we can put this to use now. Do I have beliefs that we're going to be the next Logan Paul or KSI? No. But if we could get to, I don't know, way better. But if we could get to,
look out
I don't know,
for
10,000 subs, that would be great.
Look
and
out
then
for
build from
past
there.
our prime juice. Because, hey, it's a black and white guy. We can do the same shit. Yeah.
Star Prime, very good. Yeah, man, look, it's been a wonderful ride on this channel. This channel is going bye-bye, and we are rebooting. We are rebooting, and we will be back on the 6th of June.
And can I just say, to quote Den the Tech, more than ever, tell 5 people to tell 5 people. Even if they don't like films, just tell them to subscribe. They don't have to watch the videos. Just get it going, get that following, and then we're back to live with you guys again. Yeah. So just yeah, as many subscribers as you can, guys, and we'll be back in a few weeks' time.
We will be back in a few weeks' time with Silver Screen News and Movie Mount Rushmore, and we can't wait to get going. And guys, help us get that 1K, spread the word, and as soon as we've hit 1K, the live shows will be back. You have my word on that. Otherwise, you can keep interacting with me and AJ on Twitter. Part of Silver Screen News will be at the end. We'll do a comments of the week section. So I'll be putting the tweets out going, hey, what do you think of the news this week? What do you think of this topic, that topic? We'll shout you out. We will read your questions live on air. So,
yeah,
well, live on air. It won't be live. Yeah.
No, thank you, guys. It's been a journey, and can't wait to see you on the other side. So for the last time on Silver Screen, dudes, for me, the one AJ.
And from me, Nico Luro, it's been a hell of a ride, AJ. And now on to the next one. Let's do this. We out, guys.